Hey YouTube, yeah, so you may have thought I'd forgotten about Westone Week because I'd forgotten about Westone Week, but this was one. Here's one. This is a Westone Pantera. Does it say X300? X300 on it. So this is Matsumoku built and kind of the last Westones of that era. Before they moved to Korea, like the company gets sold and they moved to Korea, and then they did come back they were made in England for a couple of years in the 90s, like different models, and then there was a sort of a German importer bought the name and they were just putting them on cheap BC Rich copies. So the last true Westone, and it's really quite something. It's like a carved front and a carved back. Yeah, so I've kind of worked out something with this guitar, and thanks to Les Paul, because I bought a Les Paul last year, and I realised that the reason I could never play Les Pauls is just when you play them on your front, they feel funny. You have to sing them on your side. This one, it's that I didn't know that. This is literally today's revelation. You wear it on your side, you side sling it, and that's why it's because it's all get mad contours in it and stuff like that. You know, it's kind of like these bits kind of do that, and then on the back it kind of does that. Kind of like, you know, is it called a bender caster, the big comedy one with the big? It's kind of like that, but not as extreme. I actually thought when I first saw the design for the Kraken that this was the old, partly because it does the same thing. This one's not as extreme as some of the other ones, but see how this kind of slopes down the way, and so does this. So it's, from that aspect, it's kind of similar to this. Because that was the first thing I noticed when I saw that guitar. I was like, oh, it's got the slopey, and the same as I saw this one. It's like it's weird having a sort of, the whole guitar's kind of bent. Weird. Yeah, so this is, well, it's the Pantera, which is obviously a panther. It's the pink panther, yep. I love that headstock. It's kind of super evil looking. I actually had two of these. I bought two of them thinking that I would be able to fix one up, sell it, and then keep the other one for myself. So I fixed the better one up, and then I swapped it for the Washburn A20. And then I've still got this one. So this was the lesser of the two. I made the blocks for the Floyd Rossi bit. Well, it's got what looks very much, it's called a Bendmaster Deluxe. And it's a Floyd Rose. It's not like the other Bendmaster. That one doesn't look like a Floyd Rose. This is, and it actually says Bendmaster Deluxe on it. It's a really good Floyd Rose. It does have a strange way you put the strings in. They kind of loop through. See the bar that you adjust up and down for the fine tuning? It kind of loops through that. It's actually quite a good system. But it's not a licensed Floyd Rose, hence it doesn't have the proper nut. It's got a nut, and then it's got clampy things, which is not as good a system. Although, one of the things when I started playing this again, it was a little bit spanky, and it's that the truss rod was just too tight. That was me. Like when I must have got it, I must have set it up and never really, maybe just, there was always something I needed to fix on it. I now think it's running, apart from it needs new strings. Yeah, so we've got an HSS 5-way switch, and this is one of those pots I was talking about in the other Westones, where it's wider on the top, and this one is, I'm going to say that one's plastic as well. Like they are on that one. I think the Prestige has got metal ones. They look the same. Yeah, so this is a cool pickup. It's kind of like a... Unfortunately, Marlin copied this idea for their horrible guitars in the 80s, but it's got like a bar magnet and a Strat single coil. And I don't think that trem bar will be original, seeing as it's the wrong colour, but it's got a barrel jack. I don't like a barrel jack. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like someone had put a post up on one of the Facebook pages, and it was like it was something to do with it at the inside. They were changing the switch or putting better pots in. I can't remember exactly what the pitch was, but it had a barrel jack. It showed you the back cavity cover and a barrel jack, and it was like, I want you to type whatever it is, it loses half a point for having a barrel jack. So the best, even if that's the best guitar in the world, it can only ever be 9.5 out of 10 because of that barrel jack, because barrel jacks suck. So 0.5 off for the barrel jack. A few guitars suffer from that. Notably that one there suffers from that. Loses 0.5 just for having a barrel jack. Doesn't matter how good the barrel jack is if it's got one. Yeah, so playing through the orange. And again, it's that having it on your side. this is there's one of the death metal Norwegian bands. I can't remember what they were called. I don't even know if they had an English name. The ones who they ate their singer, or they did some whatever that famous. He played well, not a pink one, a black pantera, probably just because it looked evil. So that there's one of these models is a desirable one from Bjorn, whatever his name is. So they're popular for that. Also, it was actually a Trevor Rabin, the guy from he was in Yes, and I've got one of his solo albums and something else. He actually had a signature model which was very like this. There's also one that's even more spaceshipy, which is basically the same idea, but it's kind of scooped in below. It's kind of bizarre. If you saw it, you would know what I mean. It's kind of flat here, but it stays at the lower level. You know, it doesn't. Instead of sloping up here, it kind of slopes up here somewhere. It's kind of weird. It just looks cool. It looks a wee bit like a stormtrooper, actually. So, 22 frets. Neck's painted black. Got an angled back headstock. It's got the Westone tuners, the Goto ones. The bridge is lightly made by Goto as well. Got like a proper steel block on the back. Bolt on neck. Matsumoku, a Matsumoku product. Starting in 6. Oh, sorry, not 1987, 1986. This one. So 1986, these came out, maybe the 1987 catalogue. But what I do really like about this, it's that genuine, that has it, where somebody has tried to make the best guitar possible. That's it. Regardless of how well they succeeded at doing that, this is somebody trying to make an improvement, the best guitar ever. I suppose the Falcon has it as well. It's like we're trying to make, so it's got all the modern cons for 1986. You know, that's a hell of a trend for 1986. So basically competing with that, really, isn't it? I was going to say, but Westone didn't have the big name. I don't think that Ibanez really had much. Were a much bigger name at the time. Maybe they were, because they've been doing copies for years. Again, which has come with a lot of guitars from this era. The ones you see here, they're not as heavy metal as you think they are. They're kind of, this is not a heavy metal guitar. Well, it became one, but it wasn't designed to be. It's designed for a guy in a white suit to play at a wedding, you know what I mean? Or a spaceman, I think, maybe. So I have been playing it for half an hour just to... It's amazing how the old strings have actually come back to life a little bit. It's definitely not a fair test of it, though. I did have a backing track. Kind of a wee bit of Doobie Brothers, I quite like that. Might do it in D, though. E. Sorry, I'll do that a wee bit better. I think I just had it up too loud. A bit quieter when that's talking. Not as quiet as that though. quite funny there. It's like nearly every guitar I've got's got a tone control, right? It's very rare to get one that doesn't have a tone control. I never touched the tone control. And on this one, I was going, oh, if only this is a tone control. It's only because it's not there. So, I mean, it would be not particularly metally. The neck's kind of like a thin Strat neck. I don't mean like thinner than a Strat neck. I just think when you get like a Strat that's got quite a thin neck, it's like that. It doesn't have that shreddy thing going on, because that shreddy thing didn't really exist in 1986. I wonder how different things would have been if Steve Vai had gone with this guitar rather than the RG. I'm sure they probably sent him one. Maybe not in 1986, so. Yeah, so the Super Strat, the RG wasn't out yet, I suppose. Well, that shape of RG existed, but the actual, whatever it is down there, what we now know as an RG shape, didn't come out till the year after this. So there you go. So this was actually pre-Super Strat. So in just a slightly different universe, this could be what we think of as a Super Strat rather than the RG. It's kind of got a sort of organic-y look. It kind of looks a wee bit like a bass. There is a bass version of it. Again, that bit there has a little bit of that. See the sort of horn you get on a... It's a wee bit square at the end, like that sort of fish beak thing that the Roadsters have. It's kind of got that. In fact, does the Cocker not kind of have it as well? You can't really see it because of the way the shadow is. But there's a thing here. I mean, the colour, I don't know, you can sort of see it there. I said it was pink. It's not pink. It's pink pearl. And the Japanese pearl paint jobs are stunning to look at. It just looks like a cake that you could take a bite of. It looks like it doesn't exist. It looks like it's got an inch of glass with a colouring below it. You know what I mean? Stunning looking thing. So, I mean, to be honest, I was just going to sell this. It was always the plan. I never really got it. I loved it. I appreciated all the things I've been talking about so far. I know the fact that someone tried to design the best guitar ever, but now that I realise that you're meant to wear it on the side, and I've adjusted the action so it's not spanky anymore, it's an awful good guitar. It would really need to be this or an RG though. Although the RG is more metal. So position 2 in single coil in the bridge. That backing track was crap. Something nice and gentle. Simple Man, innit? See if it fluttered. Does. Sorry, that face is from thinking. Doesn't happen often, that's why you've never seen that face before. No, I'm just thinking this has got a 5-way switch, right, and it's got this button which is a coil split. Whereas I'm thinking, I quite like the idea of having a 5-way switch and a button. The coil split's a bit uninteresting. I'm thinking, how much do I actually want? Like this is, so here's position 2 with the bridge pickup as a single coil, so your normal strap position 2. Here it is with the humbucker in. Yeah, maybe it does make it, it's not. Because I think Steve Vai invented automatic coil splitting in 1987, so this does not have automatic coil splitting. So what I could basically do is on the 5-way switch, because there's no tone control, so I'm sure I've got the whole other side of the 5-way switch to do whatever I want with. So if I made it automatically coil split in position 2, it frees this button up to do something else, like maybe a Gilmore switch. And I was sitting there thinking, if you could put an automatic coil split in position 2, and I've got the whole other side of the switch, I'm thinking of something very clever to do that's going to be really simple to use because you've only got one switch and a thing, but I'm thinking if you put a Gilmore switch on it, then in position, so you've got the neck pickup hardwired on, the bridge pickup, in position 5 it's humbucker, right, so you've got humbucker with a single coil on the neck, that's quite a good sound. But if you go to position 2, the automatic coil split comes in, so you would get that, but it would also bring in the middle pickup. So is there some way I can disconnect the middle pickup from that position? See, it might be doing something. I will be getting switches added to it, so that I like the idea of it having one volume and yeah, it's totally coming back to life. I don't know how it sounds on YouTube, but I mean, it's kind of, it's awfully good, this guitar actually now. You better drive. That's that Campbell pedal, but I think I might go for full-on fake rat. So that's what it kind of does this. For more authenticity, put on chorus even though it's horrible. And somehow, again, I think I'm going to try this. It probably is not going to be the case, but I'm thinking this trem is really solid feeling and really. So I'm thinking I might be able to do the Chuck Berry, the double stops, the double bends, what they're called. There's a wee bit. I'm playing those two notes, then bending that note. A wee bit kind of vibratos and more than actually bending it super out of pitch. Just a wee bit flat. This might be a wee bit high up actually, lower down. Oh, it doesn't feel right. No. Strap height is one of those things makes such a difference. It's only like the tiniest wee adjustment can just make everything go yes or everything go no. This is a really good guitar. I wasn't really expecting it to be. I think I was just put off with that whole not really quite getting it, not realising that in order for a Les Paul not to be really awkward to play, you don't sit it on your front, you sit it on your side. Definitely is where this one, which is something I hadn't noticed before. But I mean, I've not done literally anything to this. I think that these strings must be at least 2 or 3 years old. They might be elixirs actually. If they're no, I think they are elixirs. So maybe that's the only reason why. That's why they're coming back to life. I'll put elixirs on it. There you go. It's funny how now that I've just said that out loud, I can now feel that they are. But I could do without the frets. Could do with a bit of a polish. The last time I dug this out was when I was talking to Dave, the luthier, who designed the J-Pax guitars, and he was showing me photos of the prototype of it, and I said, oh, that kind of reminds me a little bit of my Westone Pantera, and I went and dug this out, and then sent him photos of this angle, and he was happy. I sort of remember them. It's not really. Once you look at it, you go, there's not much in it. You're not going to go, no. They're both guitars, both get 6 strings. It's like there's a lot in common. It's like, you can't really be denying these things. Yeah, no, this guitar. I think this is suffering from never really having been played, because when I got these two, what was wrong with the other one? The guy had 3 of them, I think. The guy was I don't know. It was obviously he'd bought 3 of these. I think he'd bought 3 that were beat up, cheap in the 80s or something like that, or the 90s. I suppose it must have been the 90s. And he'd taken all the best bits and made his one, and then had the other. And he sold the other 2. I did actually get the original Westone case, which has got probably worth about £100. It's even it's got the. It's pretty cool. You ever need a case? It's like, I could almost buy another guitar, another Westone for that. I did check it because I was at one point. The case was going to be for that one, but that one did come with the Pantera, so I'm assuming that it's. I think the guy had 3 guitars and 2 cases, so he's kept one of them. I think what he'd done as well, this one suffers a wee bit. You can't really see it because it just looks like it's dusty, but I think he's tried to clean the surface with something that's made it go cloudy. So I've tried to tea-cut it and try to get it back to being shiny. You can see it there. See this? It looks kind of like sort of like carbon fibres flaking off or something like that. It's still there. I just couldn't get it. Well, so I think if I'd spent more time at it, I could probably have done it. Something wrong with the pigment, or I think it's been cleaned with some sort of abrasive. Or no, now I've accepted the fact that this is a. I don't know. Again, it's got that. Oh, that's. There you go. Oh no, it's not. What's going on? Oh, it's because the rat pedals on. I was wondering why it was not hum cancelling in position 2, because I would imagine it will be. And this is the problem I have selling guitars. Oh, I'll sell it. I need an excuse to play it, but I mean, the correct band must exist out there with just this guitar. I mean, but it's got. What I was going to say there. It's got. I was talking about the kind of pickups that are not very forgiving and a little bit makes the guitar not harder to play, but it's kind of he's got kind of like those evils and what's in that. Not saying they're the same pickups, but a similar thing that they've got. I want to use the word character there again. I'm sorry. I hate that and flavour. I don't know what it was. I heard that in something the other day, and it was like, it's a different flavour of pickups. There wasn't somebody talking about guitars. I don't listen to people who say things like that, but my God, it's dead tempting. I've been doing well resisting transparent as the tone word of the week. It's a kind of wee bit. I feel a wee bit sorry for it, the way it's kind of. You look at it and just think wasp. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, it's got. There's a classiness to it. I mean, that paint job is just phenomenal. I can't. Do you know what it looks like? It looks like a jelly bean. It's like you get jelly bean this colour. You know, they're kind of. They're not. It doesn't look like they're solid on the outside. It looks like they've got a wee bit of an out. You know, they're kind of a wee bit translucent. It's got that look to it. The big Pantera jelly bean. Yeah, it totally looks like a jelly bean. Why did I never say jelly bean before? My God, it's so obvious. So I wonder if, I suppose Matsumoku, the reason they shut down was because they lost or Singer sewing machines, which was their biggest customer. That's what they made, sewing machine cases. That guitar looks a bit like an old sewing machine case. It's like, yep, same factory. But it's that whole idea. Maybe by 86 they would have known that the yen was suddenly getting much more expensive, so they couldn't just bang out the amazing £120, £150 Westone Thunders, you know what I mean, from Japan that were just blowing everything away. They were suddenly going to jump to double the price, so they had to go somewhere else. So the choices are: do you go to Korea and do a Harley Benton and make the guitars just cheap, but they look the same? It's just that you're not going to get anybody pure loving them for years. It's just going to be like pure, it was good, and then I got a real guitar. Whereas people who got these, so obviously the other way around was, which was what Ibanez did, and what ESP did, was we'll make better guitars, and instead of competing so much on price, we'll just compete in innovation. In 1986, this is probably one of the most futuristic guitars you can get. I don't really know there's nothing missing from it, and the shape itself. I just know it's like, why don't you get guitars this shape? It's too expensive to make, because you need another surface. It's not just a case of carving the top, you've got to carve the back as well. You know, it's like, or you can just make a Telecaster, bandsaw, router, put the neck on. Next. Yes, I shall stop talking. It's been half an hour again. I'm sorry. But there you go, Westone week. I think it's actually concluded for all the Westones I've got that work. I think the only one I've not done a video on is, before I did I need to put new pickups in the Prestige, because every time I play that I just get annoyed with the fact that it just doesn't sound as good as it should. It doesn't sound better than this one, and it's a Prestige, top of the range. This wasn't top of the range, but I think it's because the range went higher. I think the high up ones have got DiMarzios and stuff. I think the first time Westone had ever done anything like that. But I do rate this bridge. This bridge looks like it's a really high quality metal one that we go to. Slightly different design, not exactly like a Floyd Rose, but pretty much a Floyd Rose. But maybe I wonder if maybe putting a. I don't know if I could be bothered altering it to put the proper clamp on. Rock on, Westoners!